Hi, darling. How was your day? I made you dinner. It's in the refrigerator. I have to run. I'm meeting my friends to go shopping, remember. The shopping center is open until 9, and then I'll return home. Probably by 9:30 or so. Kiss me. I love you, she said, ran out of the house, got into the car and drove away. And let me guess, you will come without packages, go straight to the shower, ignoring my questions about who was there, did you buy anything, and the like, and then straight to bed, because you're so tired. And no sex for at least a couple of days. You used to go shopping every 4 to 6 weeks or longer, but now it's every couple of weeks. Usually on Wednesday evenings. And still no packages. She probably thinks I'm a complete fool. Maybe she really is with her friends. Maybe not. She is dressed in ordinary clothes. Nothing special, trendy, or new. If she had a hot date, I would expect her to dress differently. Crap. Maybe she keeps special clothes in her car. Doesn't matter. After 3 years of marriage, maybe she just needs to go out during the week and have some time to herself. Hell, every magazine is full of articles about me time. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Nonsense. We are talking. We are laughing. We do things together. We say we love each other a million times a day. We kiss when we get up in the morning. We say goodbye at any time. On the weekends, we always do something fun together. It does not make sense. How can we seem so close when it seems like she's cheating on me? But tonight the mystery will be solved one way or another. God, I hope she actually went shopping. I can't believe how much I love her. Damn, even the thought of her being with someone else, of someone else touching her, makes me. Damn. Here are the tears again and this terrible pain. I can't continue to live like this. If she's cheating on me, the pain will be much worse than suspicion, but I have to know. I have to know no matter what. How was the song sung? Suspicion is tearing me apart, or something like that. So there you have it. And this begins to destroy our relationship. Winter. It's already dark. An hour has passed. Let me check where her phone is. Crap. This is a dead end at Lover's Leap. There is an almost straight drop down, at least 150 meters, except where the road rises. Without a doubt, shopping there is not very good. They go there only for one thing. He collapsed on the floor. Oh God, why? I thought we were doing well. She never complained about anything. My entire chest feels like it's bursting, releasing my soul. How could she do this to me? With us? Okay, time to get my act together and find out who the hell is better than me. I'll be in the truck. It's only about 15 minutes there. I'll leave my phone at home. I'll go online and find the movie. Jaws. Just in time. I'll start watching it so I can have an alibi if things go wrong. Maybe my beloved wife and her boyfriend will take a shortcut down the hill. Serves them right. After they betrayed my trust, our wedding vows, all of her promises of fidelity. Damn. I can't get the image of some other guy with her out of my head. After all, I have nothing to live for. Maybe it's better to spend the rest of my life in prison if I don't have the courage to drive down the hill with them. Not a bad idea. I read about murder-suicides all the time. Probably better than jail time. God, how I loved her for a long time. We have known each other since childhood. But we started dating seriously in my last 2 years of college, even though she was staying home and working. Then after college, I had some great offers, but I chose one here in our hometown. She moved in with me a week after I graduated, and we got married 6 months later. Yes, we got married in the heat of passion, but at first we were best friends and knew everything about each other. That's the problem. We were best friends. How could you do this to a friend? To me? Okay, I turn off my headlights when I go up a hill. I don't want to scare them away. Let me just go around the bend. Crap, this is my brother's van. First, my wife betrayed me. Now betrayed by Beau. Please, Lord, kill me now. They say friends and family strike the hardest. But it's more like being hit with a sledgehammer. He quietly but urgently approached the van. Crap. Wait. Voices. From their dialogue, I realized that Sam was cheating on me with Bo and Rex. She enjoys the process, but tells them that this is the last time because she thinks that I am starting to suspect something. She says I'm better in bed, but she still enjoys her relationship with Bo and Rex. Okay, Sam, if he's so good, why are we doing this? Don't know. Crap. We started this at school. And then 4 years while he was in college. Even the last 2 years when we had to be exclusive. I think it's a habit. I just need you two from time to time. It's, it's just different than with Ian. The biggest break was when I moved in with him and then married him. I love him to death, but I got that desire again and we started again. Do you remember? And all this time he never suspected anything. I never put two and two together. Probably when they say that love blinds you. He was and is. Sometimes I feel guilty, but it's so much fun. I hate giving it up, and it's not that I wasn't a great wife for him. But this is the end, so enjoy it. I'm going to become a baby factory and the most faithful wife in the world. Hell, he already thinks I'm off the pill and we're trying, but I didn't want to risk either of you two getting me pregnant. My baby would be too ugly. Crap. You two will really have to find real girls if you want some sex. My store will be closed. You think every couple of weeks made him suspicious? Well, that's why we did it once every month or two. But I wanted to get rid of it. Last hurrah. But like I said, he's been acting weird, so I'll have to make it up to him and not do it again. Or at least not for a while, after I get pregnant. What did you tell him? What are you doing? Shopping. Well, maybe he's just mad about all the things you bought. Crap, crap, crap. I never brought any packages home. God, I'm such a fool. No wonder he acts suspicious and irritated. Okay, finish it. I need to get to Walmart to buy something. Everywhere will be closed. Almost 9. If he suspects, he'll go crazy. But he loves me so much. I will agree to counseling, therapy, and crawl on my knees. Whatever it takes to keep him, before it's all over and I go shopping. The brothers looked at each other. They knew that if they were caught, there would be no forgiveness. For none of them. He was ready to rip the door off the van and beat all three of them. The pain was replaced by an emptiness filled with hatred. Betrayal, traitors, you will all pay for this. He quietly ran back to the truck. I knew it would come in handy. He attached a moving blanket to the metal guard of the truck's front bumper. No scratches, I hope. Turned on all-wheel drive. And, no, just a second. Let me make a couple of calls on the burner phone. Hi, Mom. Is Bo there? I want to talk to him for a minute. No, John. He and Rex went to the gym. They'll be back in an hour or so. They never stay long. Why don't you call later? You know, around 9 o'clock or something like that. Okay, it doesn't matter. I can talk to him tomorrow. I'll call one more number. Hi, Helen, Mom. Is Sam there? I'm trying to find her to ask her something. What? Is she outside talking to her father? In the damn dark? No, everything is fine. I'll just talk to her when she gets home. Nothing important. Good evening. Sorry to bother you. So, betrayed by wife, betrayed by brothers, betrayed by mother, and let me guess, her mother knew too. He nodded. But Helen thought that you were so good for her and that she would stop. But when she didn't stop. He raised his hand. I suspect they went to my house first. Then they will come here. I have to go. He leaned forward and kissed her forehead. She shuddered at his touch. Mother, thank you for all the wonderful things you have given me. I will always love you for this. But you betrayed me in the worst possible way. I will always hate you for this. No, Ian, please. You have to understand. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What can I do to fix this? Nothing, Mom. Nothing. We are well beyond fix. I'm leaving. And you and Dad and my brothers will never see me again. Don't try to find me. If I ever see any of you again, I'm not sure I'll stop where I started on Lover's Leap. Goodbye. Ian, please, please. You can't leave. Not this way. You have to understand. She fell to her knees and continued to cry, covering her face with her hands. Her husband entered. What the hell is going on here? Are you okay? Did he hit you? Worse. Much worse. He found out about Sam and the boys. These three cost us our son. We'll never see him again. Never. What were we thinking? What have we done? He got out and drove to Sam's parents' house. Knocked in the door. Jan, what are you doing here? Sam isn't here. I know, Helen. She's on Lover's Leap having sex with my brothers. Is that what you were going to tell me? Shock filled her face. The moment had come that she had been dreading for many years. She always thought that she could convince him if this happened. But one look convinced her that there was nothing that could be said to make things better. The marriage was over. It was all over. Why did she ever think it was right not to tell him? Helen looked into his eyes, filled with anger and emptiness. My God, what have we done to this poor guy? She began to cry and held out her hands, begging for forgiveness. Pain and fear filled her. Helen, you knew this all along. You could have told me at any time in the last 5 years. But not only did you not tell me, you covered for her. So that's how things are. Thank you for all the good things you and your husband have done for me and for accepting me into your family. And a curse to you, everyone, in hell, for not telling me. You could have stopped this. You could have saved us all from this pain that is happening now. Anyway, too late, I'm leaving. Forever. I will never talk to you or Sam again. All communication will be through my lawyer. Don't try to find me. Tell Sam that if I see her again, I'll finish what I started tonight. There will be no forgiveness, no consultation, no reconciliation. Everything is over. You can tell her that I heard them talking in the van. I thank her for telling my brothers that at least I wasn't a failure in bed. I appreciate it. But all I can remember is my brothers having sex with her. She won't be able to change it. Tell her to be happy. Please give her my phone number and my damn wedding ring. Obviously, it meant a lot more to me than to her. Or for any of you. Goodbye. He turned on the phone and walked out the door. Helen just stared after him. Oh, this poor guy. A few seconds later, the phone rang. Pulling herself out of her thoughts, she answered. Ian, oh Ian, thanks for answering. I am so sorry. I have to talk to you. I have to explain, please. Where are you? Jan, oh my Jan, what did I do to you, me? Sam, this is your mom. Ian came in, left his phone and his wedding ring. He said he was leaving and would never see us again. Mom, no, I have to talk to him. I have to fix everything. There is no way to fix this, I think. You should have seen him, Sam. He looked like one of those Walking Dead. It was scary. Are you okay? Mother, he almost pushed us into Lover's Leap. You deserve it, but we all deserve it. Why don't you come home, honey, and we'll try to sort it out? He made it clear that the marriage was over. Her mother heard a cry of despair and grief when Sam hung up. Well, they're probably heading to Helen's. I think she will stay there for a while. So I'll go home, pick up my suitcases and things and leave. If I drive towards the highway, I can find a hotel further away from here, far enough away that they won't run into me, if they even look at all. Then off to work. Many affairs. Bank transfers, credit cards, new bank account for salary. And then tomorrow, I'll explain it to the boss. I'll quit. I will set up a meeting with a lawyer via Zoom. Last but not least, I will decide where to move. How does the song go? Heads or tails? Will I go to California? Will I go to Carolina? Or vice versa? It doesn't help that I'm in North Carolina. I don't think I want to go to California. Maybe somewhere in the middle, the Rocky Mountains. Later. Who said small towns don't need a geek? 2 years later, and computer services is so busy that this is the first time I can really say, to hell with it, and leave for a while. Except for half a day or something like that. It's nice. And what a place. I like living here. Accessible, friendly, and in 15 to 20 minutes I can be on the trail, heading up the mountains. And no crowds. I've always loved hikes like this. It can be hard on the way into the forest, mostly uphill, but the reward is the descent down on the way back. Much better than the other way around. Hell, you've heard about the ones going down into the Grand Canyon, and then they need to go back up. No thanks. But damn, 2 years have passed, and I cannot get rid of these visions in my head. Same damn scenes from the movie. Over and over and over again. Why can't I be a blank slate, emotionless? When will the pain, the anger, the feeling of hatred, the feeling of being betrayed by everyone I loved subside? And how could I be such a fool? I should have known. I must have done something wrong. I shouldn't have been enough of a man. All these feelings are swirling around in my head non-stop. How to stop them? Stop the chaos in my head. Work only helps a little. I knew it wouldn't be easy. I loved her too much for it to be easy. But damn, my mind never stops. What if I can never move on? What if I'm never okay? There's too much noise for meditation, and the damn quiet mind only makes the film clearer. Every detail, crap. Drinking only made me cry and suffer, and feel like crap in the morning. Prohibited substances are not an option, so all I do is work like crazy and then train until I'm exhausted, hoping, just hoping that when I close my eyes, I can actually fall asleep. But it never works. I'm being followed every night. Every damn night. This therapist was a joke, and I'm not going to take pills so I can't feel anything. What kind of existence would this be? But then I think this does not exist either. Will I ever be able to feel happy or laugh again? Or at least smile so that it is sincere? Will my heart ever heal enough to let someone else in? Love again? Feel joy? Excitement? Thanks for the memories, Sam. Hell, she's probably still having sex with my brothers now that I'm gone. She probably just moved on and forgot about me. Crap. Here I am again. Way to ruin a hike in the woods, Ian. Great job. So glad I took some time off. And loneliness. How can there be a place to be alone with all this other crap roaring in your head? I just do not understand. Okay, stop. Nice job at sucking the joy out of one of your favorite hikes. Maybe it's better to just turn back. I didn't look at the birds or the trees. I didn't enjoy anything. 2 solid days of diving into the past. Damn. Damn. Crap. Crap. Wait. Maybe I should just stop and try this meditation again. Now, calm your mind. Repeat your mantra. Reject any thoughts that come up. Relax. Deep breaths. Fuck it all. Does not work. Again. I think I should say to hell with it. Eat a sandwich and then go back downstairs. Wait. What is this? The same feeling I had when I was about to crash into the van for the third time. Too weird. What? What was that sound? Sounds like a rock was thrown or something. Probably just moved when the sun warmed the stones. No, wait, is this a human voice? Quite raucous if that's the case. Weak, help. Crap, maybe that's true. It sounds like it's coming from down a path somewhere. I don't see anything really. Well, I won't lose anything. I was about to turn around, so I can explore and make sure. He looked for a safe place and then climbed down the rocks. The stones were from a long ago landslide and were very unstable. With a lot of slipping and falling, he finally made it to the bottom. There, lying on her back in the mud, was a girl. God, she looks terrible. Eyes closed, she made a faint help sound. There's no way I should have heard this. Miss, are you okay? She opened her eyes. Who? What? Crap, God, was I that bad? I dreamed that a beautiful blonde man with blue eyes would come on his horse and save me. Instead, you send me an ugly, bearded giant ogre. Oh shit, does this mean I'm going to hell and not to heaven? Oh my God, I'm so sorry for all the bad things I've done in the past. I'm trying to become better. Please let me live so I can prove it. Reaching out, she touched his hand. Crap, you are real. Look at those arms, that hairy chest. But just look at those beautiful blue eyes. At least this part of my dream came true. But in these eyes, you can see a lot of pain, anger, resentment. Oh. He laughed. The ugly ogre is at your service, ma'am. You're a little beat up. No joke, Shakespeare. Actually, my legs are fine. I'm the lead ballerina in a competition, and I'm just practicing my pose. You know how they stand and point their toes to the side? First position? Or is this the second one? Don't know. I've been lying here on my back for a couple of days now, freezing to death. No food or water, no toilet facilities, and he says I'm a little beat up. Do you happen to have any water? He laughed again and smiled. Quite by chance, ma'am, I have water. She frowned at him. Here, drink as much as you want. I can always get more from the stream. You can't just drink water from a stream. Didn't your mother teach you anything? Oh, he shuddered again at these words. The water is full of amoebas and things like that. I just needed to catch an intestinal disorder. I have a filter and chlorine tablets. Double punch. But please don't drink so much that you throw up, okay? Oh my God, this is so delicious. Okay, Lord, I'm ready for a prince. But she smiled at him when she said it. I'm guessing food won't be the theme. First, let's wrap you in my sleeping bag. Hey, watch where you put your hands. Sorry, all part of my preparation for survival in the wild. What, from YouTube? He laughed again. No, a real course. How about some peanut butter, extra crunchy of course, on bread? God, I've been lying here for 2 days, starving and dreaming of food, and you're sending me this peanut butter giant? No jam? No jam. So you go on a 4 or 5 day hike with a jar of peanut butter, no protein bars or candy or anything else. Shaking his head, and with a loaf of bread, and it's really, really crunchy, and it's a big jar. God, was I that bad? Without the prince, and now without jam? Okay, let's go 6. Just keep serving them. Here, can you make them yourself? She nodded. So how did you manage to hurt yourself so badly and break your legs? I was pushed. Is it true? Yes, some kind of raccoon or something. Snuck up behind me and pushed. No, I was actually looking at these 2 cute marmots. Do you know how mating games begin among young animals in the spring? But now it's autumn, so it was probably a farewell like, see you in the spring. But not your fantasy, giant. Do not think about it. Anyway, they disappeared further, and I stood on this stone to see them better, and the next thing I remember is how I ended up here. I think my legs got stuck, and then I kept moving forward until they came free. The sound was pretty disgusting. Lots of crackling. Sounds fun. I don't recommend it to others. No more than 1 star. Agree. Let me start examining you. Nice bruises on the face, by the way. Is your head okay? Vision, teeth, is that all? And if not, what will you do then? He laughed again. Don't know. That's all in the next course. I haven't learned it yet, but the first year said I should ask. I'm starting to worry about you, lifeguard. Maybe I should just wait a couple more days until the next one comes. Let's watch. A, B, C. Air, eat, breath, eat, circulation. Yes, Houston, she has a pulse. No, wait, that's not the course. She rolled her eyes, and he smiled at her. And deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom. First, we should probably take off your boots and check your feet to see if they're okay. No, don't touch them. First of all, my dear friend, you clearly failed your YouTube course. If they were dead, it would be too late. Plus, they are so swollen that they will get even bigger, and you will never get them back into place. And my feet will freeze on the way back. Right? Sounds logical. But they are so dense that they need to be at least loosened. She agreed. Mine. Much better. Thank you, ogre. I should have thought about this before I fell asleep. Now, we need to move your pants down. No, do not even think about it. Get away from me. Don't you dare touch me, otherwise I think there's no point in screaming. I'll hit you with this stone, or I'll use my karaoke haku karate on you. Karaoke haku karate. What is this? May, new mixed media martial art? She started crying. Listen, I know I can't stop you. But please, please don't do this. Do not do that. I'm already in so much pain. If you're going to do this, please kill me first. I just can't. Tears filled her eyes, and she covered her face with her hands. He raised his hands. No, no. Everything is fine. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do this. Relief filled her face. What? Are you saying that I'm not just the most beautiful girl you've ever saved? No, I do not deserve this. Do I deserve this? The purpose of language, lifesaver, is communication, and I'm sure you understood what I meant. Smiling, yes, I understood what you meant. So, you're implying that I stink, so. No, not at all. Smiling, but I think there's a reason why not a single animal stopped to check on you. For thine is the kingdom. No, I just want to check if you have any cuts or open fractures. What if I just cut my pants? No, no, these are my favorite pants. I think they're okay. Do you see? No blood, so there are no big cuts. The fractures are probably not open. I know you just want to look at my special places. I suspect your special spots are the same as every other woman's. You bastard. Is this an example of the charm you use on women? No wonder there are so few people like you. Let me tell you, my special place is a gold mine. This is amazing, but I'm not mining right now. What? Do you like men or something? Okay, if that's the case. No, not something like that. Oh shit, sorry. White ring. White ring. She pointed to his ring finger. Still white. The circle where the ring used to be. 2 years. Will it ever go away? You get used to watching every time a guy shows interest. The rings seem to get lost when they are looking. But the white ring remains. How much time has passed? He winced and turned away. 2 years. Although it seems like it was yesterday. Death? Divorce? Wait, sorry. I have no right to ask. No, everything is fine. Divorce. His face reflected the pain of the memories that flashed through his head. Oh, bad, huh? He nodded. Sorry. So, my rescuer from the forest, how are you going to save me? Wait, what's your name, big guy? Ian. Nice to meet you, Ian. We just need to stop meeting under these circumstances. And she laughed briefly. My name is Sam. His eyes widened and a kaleidoscope of pain, despair, and hatred flooded his face. Oh shit, her name, he nodded. Fine, so it's not a good name to use, otherwise you'll definitely leave me here, I think. My middle name is Allison. What if you call me Ellie? Will this be okay? He nodded and wiped away a tear. Well, now that the dating and social formalities are over, how? You can. Me. From here, take it out. Where is your horse, my not a prince? I'll carry you. Rave, it will take 2 days. I know you're a powerful ogre and all, but you can't do this. Ellie, listen. There is no connection here. 2 days down. Even with ADVs, it will take time for the rescue team to get you back. I'm sure you won't like peanut butter after this. And that would be wrong. Completely wrong. And you're small. Just don't eat or drink too much on the way back. And they both laughed. I promise. How about one of those stretchers you can make? And pull me. Mr. Forrester, I'm sure you took a course on this too. Why, yes, I passed, but I think it would have been more difficult. Okay, time for truth, Ian. Animals are right. I couldn't move much, and, well, damn. I had to pee on myself and other things. I can't ask you for this. What? Does your special place stink? Well, she smiled. Of course not. Not my special place. This is what is above and behind my special place. Another reason to take off your clothes. We can wash you, and I will wash your clothes. Please, Ian. No. Please. As you say, miss, we ogres are eager to please. Did you have a backpack or something? I was, and there was decent food, but I took it off when I fell, and I heard some animal tearing something, which sounded like my backpack. It must have been carried away. I didn't see him upstairs, but we can look again. So, why don't I pack up my things and splint your legs in their current position, my ballerina? I can use those places. Then gently place you on his shoulders, give you my backpack, and I'll see if I can get up the slope without killing us both. Ian, this is impossible. No problem. I practice. Do you see my muscles? Yes, great. I feel much better about it now. Maybe I'm better off just dying here. And we'll both be facing the same direction when you carry me. He looked at her blankly. Oh, lifeguard, I'm wasting my best jokes on you. He suddenly laughed loudly. Yes, we'll both be looking in the same direction. God, it's so nice to laugh again. A lot of time has passed. She amuses me. I can't believe that after 2 days she has the strength to do anything other than moan or whine. She is truly something special. He packed his things. I took some more water. Then he picked her up. She screamed in pain, even with the splints on her legs, but she didn't complain. He managed to easily put her on his shoulders, and he handed her the backpack. What took 15 minutes on the way down took almost 2 hours on the way back. Lots of time on all fours. He was wet by the time he reached the top. Sorry, Ellie, I'm just as wet as you. Yeah, and you smell a lot worse, by the way. But she patted him on the chest, and she left her hand there for a while. Ian, you need to stop and rest. No, I'm fine. Your pants are very heavy, but you are not. If only we could take them down. You're a scumbag. Just breathe in this fresh mountain air. She hit him on the head. Smells like a sweaty ogre to me. They say that after a while your nose gets used to it. Ian, please do me a favor and just throw me over the edge. I'll wait for the next rescuer. She gently hit him on the head again, but then began to play with his hair. Sorry, it will be easier from here, mostly downhill. It will soon start to get dark. Can you pass me the backpack? He took out his headlamp, but then held the backpack by the straps, and he continued on his way. In less than half an hour, he felt that she had fallen asleep, restless sleep, moaning in pain at times as he moved her. God, it must be very painful. She's probably exhausted. And another half hour later, it became completely dark. He continued walking all night. We need to do as much as possible. I'll stop when she wakes up and wants to take a break or something. He walked all night, making only short stops. They didn't talk much after that. He just trudged on. She admired his strength. She tenderly touched his dark brown hair and admired the beauty of the forest and wished she would keep her mouth shut. Most of the leaves had already fallen above, but many still remained below. Mostly she just looked ahead along the path. Her thoughts simply drifted this way and that as she tried to ignore the pain. A pain that inexorably increased as her legs dangled. When darkness fell, he was forced to take a break. They didn't meet a single soul on the trail. His phone still didn't work. He collected wood and built a small fire in a semicircle of stones so that the heat would reflect outward and keep her warm. He found a stream nearby and, although the water was icy, he took off his clothes, washed himself, and lay down in the water. It feels great, he thought. In the dim light, she was partially visible. She didn't look away. Well, Ellie, my clothes are starting to smell just like yours. Do you mind if I wash them and hang them by the fire? I promise I won't walk around naked. My underpants are conservative. But when you're as big as me, well, you know. I know you probably have a pair of spare socks there. He laughed. My secret is out. In fact, I have more or less clean clothes that I can wear. I have a few t-shirts in my backpack if you want to change. Certainly. I would love to take off my pants, but I have no idea how to do it, taking into account tires and everything else, and my panties are quite small. Let's do it this way. I know you didn't want to do this, but I have sweatpants in my backpack. What if I cut your pants? She started to protest. I'll give you some water to wash up, and you can put on some sweatpants. I'll just cut the seams on your pants so they can be sewn up easily. Hell, I'll just buy you a new pair if it makes you feel better. When we get back and take you to the hospital, I can go to your house and bring you more clothes." An expression of pain appeared on her face. She seemed devastated and began to cry. "Ellie, sorry. What? What did I do wrong?" "Nothing, Ian. It's me. I don't have any other clothes. I have nothing at all." She lifted the sleeves of her sweater. Scars. Seals, irregularities. "Ian, I was addicted to illegal substances. My mom dropped me off. We were barely making ends meet, but a couple of years ago, she switched to heavier substances. I just couldn't. She literally rotted before my eyes. It was like rotting. Then she died. Don't know. I was so high that I didn't know it for hours. I quit that day. Never again. God, it was terrible. It was so hard. I rolled on the floor and, well, it doesn't matter. I've been sober for a year now, but I'm still living in a church crisis house. I have a part-time job, but no one wants to hire me because, well, you know, these are small towns and everyone knew my mother. They don't trust me and don't want me around. I don't blame them. It's just, it takes money to move and start again somewhere else. Money I don't have. So if you want to just leave me here, I understand. You've already done more than enough for me." "No way. You gave it up. It takes courage. Great courage. This is an incredible achievement, and I felt sorry for myself. Don't worry, Ellie. I'll help you get back on your feet. Without any conditions." He raised his hands. "Honestly." She began to cry and began to cry. "Why, Ian? Why are you doing this?" "Because you need help. You need to reach out, and that's what we Southerners do." He chuckled, then pulled out sweatpants and a t-shirt, smiling. "I think they'll suit you." Okay, cut them and give me water." He took off the tires. He carefully cut his pants down to his hips, covered her with a sleeping bag, and took off his pants. "Here is some fresh water from a mountain stream. Quite cold, but I didn't have anything to warm her up. Oh yes, and a t-shirt to wash your face with. I guess I'll just burn it when you're done with it." She smiled. "Ogre, you have an amazing way of communicating with women. They feel so special. Now stop peeking and let me wash myself." She washed herself as best she could and put on sweatpants. They were huge. So is the t-shirt. "Oh, this t-shirt smells like Ian. I like it." She hid her panties and bra in his backpack. "I should burn them, but my only other set is left in my backpack." She fell asleep when he returned. He collected more firewood, a little more peanut butter, replenished water supplies, and he lay down next to her after making sure that she was completely covered with the bag. A few hours later, he was awakened by a noise nearby. He turned on his headlamp. Crap, bear. That's our luck. He jumped up, grabbed a burning stick from the fire, and walked towards the black bear. The bear retreated and left, but Ian knew that he would return. Smells food, the wonders of peanut butter, universal bait for animals. Time to go. He woke Ellie, packed everything, and lifted her onto his shoulders again, leaving her in sweatpants. He walked all night, and when dawn broke, he saw the parking lot and his truck. Not bad, a day and a half. "Let's load you up, and I'll take you to the hospital in Dillard. There is an orthoptist there who can hopefully help." When they got to the emergency room, he went inside, explained what happened, and returned to the truck with the wheelchair and the nurse. They loaded her up, and the nurse wheeled her inside while he parked the truck. When he returned, Ellie had already been taken for an X-ray, and the nurse came over with a bunch of forms to fill out. He explained that he simply found her on the trail and carried her back for almost 36 hours. The nurse was stunned. "Have you been carrying her this whole time? You are a hero. We have to call the newspaper." "No, no hero. I just did what I needed to do. She's a hero. She survived for 2 days with 2 broken legs and no food or water. Then another day and a half on my shoulders. so make her a hero. After some time, the orthoptist came over. Yang, he nodded. Hello, I'm Dr. Jones. Ellie gave me permission to talk to you. She says, did you just meet on the trail? He nodded. Well, she needs surgery urgently. Her fractures are in terrible condition. Lots of pieces. She did seriously damage her bones. So the plates are on the fibula. But the main bone, the tibia, well, I'll try pinning the big pieces, putting a long plate on all the fractures, then adding some screws, bone grafts. Man, she looks like one of our speeding motorcyclists. You know, something like a strong blow. The bone is crushed into many segments and pieces. I don't know how she did it. And since it still won't be stable enough, I need to add this outer metal thingy until everything stabilizes and starts to grow together and hold together. Then we'll move on to casts, probably in 6 weeks or so. The operation will take several hours. She will not be able to bear weight on her legs for at least 4 and possibly up to 6 months. And then she will need rehabilitation. With one leg, she could use crutches, but with both legs and... Doctor, she made me promise that there would be no pain medication. She's had problems with illegal substances, and she's afraid of getting hooked again. Yes, we discussed this. Getting in Roman 4 wasn't fun. Trust me. We had to put it in a large vein in the neck. It's amazing how far she's come. So we'll give her some nerve blocks that should last a day or so, hopefully, and then acetaminophen. I think if she could handle the pain for almost 4 days, I think she can handle the pain after surgery. She'll be here for a few days, but she can't go back to the crisis home, and she doesn't seem to have a family. No problem, doctor. She can stay with me, and I can take care of her. All it takes is for her to get better. Would you do this? Have you just met? That's what people do, sir. Help those who need help, right? So no problem. Where do you live, Ian? Near Greenwood. I own a computer store there. So you are that guy. My wife bought a computer from you. She loved the service and absolutely loved her computer. Maybe the hospital needs services like yours. It seems to me that they are wasting a lot of money and our system is incredibly slow, never working correctly, especially when we all make our rounds and do things on it in the morning. I'll talk to them. Anyway, do you want to visit her before she goes into surgery? She asked about you. I'm a little dirty, doctor. Are you sure this is normal? I mean, it's okay, Ian. This is a rural hospital, not some famous clinic. Going to the pre-operative area. Hi, Ellie. You smell better. And you still stink, ogre. She began to cry. I'm scared, Ian. I'm afraid of surgery. I'm afraid of what I'll do next. He said I won't be able to stand on my legs for 4 to 6 months. Or longer. Sobbing, what will I do, Ian? Am I going to be sent to a nursing home or something where all the people are old, very sick, or something worse? I'm scared. Very, very scary. In my old life, it didn't matter. Life was so terrible. But now, what should I do? He took her hand. She shuddered and automatically tried to pull her hand away. He held tightly. But then she looked into his eyes and relaxed. I've thought of everything. You can move in with me. She shuddered and tried to pull her hand away. Damn it, Ellie. No, nothing. I won't touch you. No strings attached. You need help, and the doctor said there is no one else. I promise. You get a bedroom. I take the sofa. Everything will be fine. When you feel better, you can help in my store to repay me. How do you like it? You said you wanted to be Employee of the Month, right? And if you feel uncomfortable, well, I'll sleep in the office or something. Whatever you need and feel comfortable with. She simply looked into his eyes. Seekers. A look in depth. Who is this guy? Would you do this for me? Why? Why are you doing this? We just met. Nobody has ever done anything for me. Never. Her eyes filled with tears again. He gave her a handkerchief. So the plan is, I'll stay with you until the surgery starts. Then I'll go home, put myself in order. And I better clean up the apartment buy food and much more. And then I'll be back by the time you're transferred to the ward. Sounds like a plan, or at least I hope that I will make it. But you do not have to. Yes, yes, I must. I can't help but help, Ellie. And maybe it will help me focus on something other than my own shitty past. She squeezed his hand. Thank you, Ogre, and thanks for saving me. My life, and perhaps in other ways too. She smiled. But no more damn peanut butter, he smiled. Wait until you try my peanut pie. I take one of those pre-made crusts, melt a jar of peanut butter. Enough, I'm already sick. They both laughed. When the operating room staff came to pick her up, he wished her luck and kissed her on the forehead. She flinched again as his face moved closer to hers, but then she relaxed and smiled. Sorry, Ian. I have problems, but thanks for everything. Wish me luck. When she was taken away, he ran away. It's better to go home first and get yourself in order. People in the store won't appreciate it if I come like this. Bad for business. A way to clean out the store. He smiled to himself, quickly cleaned the apartment, collected all the dirty clothes, and put on the laundry. I washed the dishes, loaded the dishwasher, and started it. Changed the bed linen, cleaned the bathroom, and so on. An hour has passed. To the store. Toothbrush, deodorant, soap for girls with scrub, shampoo, conditioner, comb for her long blonde hair. Several hair ties. Damn, I don't know what she needs. Never had sisters. Sam had short hair. But I guess most other things will be similar. Damn, I'm going to need another cart soon. Buying such things for the first time is not cheap. Well, okay. Then clothes. The nurse gave me the approximate size. Sam was bigger. All the labels on her clothes were illegible. Sweatpants, shorts, t-shirts, hoodies, socks, shoes, 2 pairs of sneakers. Hell, I can always return something that doesn't fit. He looked at the bras. No way. I have no idea. Also, an air mattress. God, this is going to be terrible. Sheets, blankets, towels, washcloths. His place was quite simple. Lonely guy's apartment. But now there will be someone else there, and a wounded woman too. To a medical equipment store. He explained the situation, and they helped him choose the right equipment for his home. Finally, to the grocery store. He downloaded everything. Good products. Not his usual frozen meals. Salads, meats, vegetables, cereal. His truck was fully loaded. Thank God for the tonneau cover. He unpacked it all and returned to the hospital 3 hours later. He had just pulled out his computer to work on something when the surgeon came out. He jumped up. Is she all right? Yes, Ian. Operation was successfully completed. No problem. Lots of little pieces and a lot of time to heal. Unfortunately, with all the pieces and the large fragment, the plates alone wouldn't be able to hold it in place. So to make sure everything stayed in place, we gave her that external fixator I was talking about. She has it bigger with more rods than most, at least on her right leg. The left one was not so badly damaged. She won't like it, but it's better than the casts she'll get later. She won't like 2 casts on both legs. Ian looked at him with a questioning look. Sorry, her casts will be from her feet to her hips on both legs. She'll have to put no weight on her legs for at least 3 months, and maybe up to 6 or longer, to keep everything from shifting until it's strong. Really strong. So, wheelchair and so on. But the joints are not damaged, and she's young, so she should be able to handle it. But it will take time, the year as a whole. I bought some equipment while she was in surgery. Great. The nurses will give you a list of what she will need at home to make sure you buy the right equipment, and social services can help. Can I see her? Soon, when she is transferred to the ward. When he was called, he went into the ward. She was still under anesthesia. He walked over to the bed and gently brushed her hair away from her face. She opened her eyes and smiled. Hello, Ogre. You look pretty smart. You shouldn't have dressed up for me. And she blinked her eyelashes. He laughed. I'll probably have to sleep in the office after all. The orthoptist said everything went well, but now you have a tough piece of metal under the sheets. He handed her a bouquet of flowers that he bought. She began to cry. You are a scoundrel. I just got back from surgery and you're making me cry. Ian, no one in my entire life has ever given me flowers. Well, once, but I never received them. Thank you. But why are you doing all this? Because I can, and I want to. I need. Okay, the white ring was very, well, not good. I can't stop thinking about it. I need a goal, something to take my mind off the past, and helping her might be just what I need, something to not think about the past. And it's simple, because you need help. This is what people should do, or at least they should. He smiled. Besides, what other options do you have? You will have to put no weight on your legs for a long time. How do you feel? It hurts, but not as much as before. I swear they put bricks in these bandages to make them heavier. Do you want to take a look? Yes, as long as you promise not to look under my shirt. I know your type. He rolled his eyes. Just kidding, big guy. They pulled back the sheet and saw large metal rods suspended from a frame on both legs. Well, they looked comfortable. Her eyes filled with tears. Ian, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't helped me. Nothing special. The bear would have eaten you, and you wouldn't have had to go through all this. Well, it sure makes me feel a lot better. Honestly, thank you. And she squeezed his hand. On the 5th day, she was allowed to go home. She was able to sit in a wheelchair, but her legs had to be elevated most of the time to reduce swelling. He visited her before and after work, and they learned a lot about each other, but avoided discussing their past. In Ian's apartment. This is it, Ellie. Sweet home. Luckily, this is the first floor, so we can easily roll you in and out. Wait, I'll give you a tour. Here's the living room. I use Roku to watch TV and movies. I'll show you how it works. And here's the kitchen where you can cook all my food. He laughed. In fact, I moved a lot of things to the lower shelves here and in the pantry so you can reach all the candy and protein bars from your chair. And here comes the peanut butter. Sarcastically, I hope it has some pieces. Certainly. But I don't think you'll want to eat my cooking, Ian. It is not suitable for human consumption. The FDA has a warning and recall on all my cooking, if you know what I mean. Here is the bathroom. What is that thing there? Shower chair. You move from a wheelchair to a shower chair, do your thing, and then go back. I bought you all kinds of girly soaps, shampoos, and other stuff. Here I have a toothbrush, comb, brush, deodorant, and razor. Super heavy razor and a whole bunch of blades. The packaging says it is suitable for llamas. And I went to the veterinarian store to buy sheep shears. You know, just in case. She stuck her tongue out at him. Oh, and one more thing. He blushed. Did you buy me tampons? She felt tears begin to well up. Damn it, Highlander. How do you know about tampons? You bought them for. He winced. Sorry, Ian. I shouldn't have. The hardest thing I've ever bought. Never done this before. Sizes, shapes, brands. I finally asked the woman and told her that this girl had a very, very special occasion, and she recommended these super large sizes. They are reusable and washable. Get out of here, asshole. No, I actually asked the woman, and she recommended these and other pads. I can buy everything you need. Just make a list. Ian, you've already done so much. I will find a way to repay you. I. More tears. Well, we continue the tour. Here's the bedroom. With new sheets. I burned the old ones and treated them for fleas and ticks. Certified bed bug free. Remember, you need to do all these exercises 6 times a day, and you need to make those little arms stronger so you can transition easier. I can't carry you everywhere. You know, I have a bad back and everything. What is this thing? The toilet is by the bed, you know, so when you get up in the middle of the night, you can just go to it and do your business. If you call, I can help you move your legs. although you might be able to just turn your body on the seat and leave your feet on the bed. About. And there's a pot at the bottom that you can empty and clean in the morning, like a chamber pot. And I stacked about 30 rolls of toilet paper next to it, based on your condition in the mountains. Now she was blushing. Sorry about that, Ian. It's too much. Too much about me and my personal hygiene. But are you sure this isn't best for you? Chair, I mean. I know that this thing is starting to increase in older people, and they have to write all the time. And she laughed. Okay, Ellie, ignoring her prick, but smiling. This is what you need to get better. You need to call when you need help. And I promise to be strictly professional and avoid trying to see any secondary sexual characteristics. Ogres have this way with words. I bet the big, horsey nerds are just thrilled. But Ian, I just don't know. He raised his hand. You need help, Ellie. It's simple. That's what people do. Or at least they should. What else should I spend my money on? I am glad to help. You are all special, and you need care, not only... And he pointed down. Mr. Ogre, you're just too much. Can you help me get into bed and hide this iron under the blanket? I need to take a little nap, I think. Then I need to do exercises, eat, and spend 6 blades. He helped her to the bed, but forced her to move to the bed herself. Ian, before you go, I know it's against all the rules, you know, about being strictly professional and all that. But can I kiss you for everything you've done? What? Sure. He leaned down and kissed her on the lips. She tensed when he started, but then relaxed. She sighed and pulled away. Asshole, get out of here. Sorry, Ellie. Maybe I misunderstood. You did not understand correctly. Very quiet. It should have been disgusting, but it wasn't. I should have hated it, but I didn't. That was great. Oh, Ian, I shouldn't have done that, right? He looked confused and turned to leave. Wait, try again, Ogre. He came back, leaned over, and kissed her again. She sighed, raised her arms, and hugged his neck. Crap. Still great. Ian, what should I do? Focus on getting better, Ellie. I'll go make you a peanut butter sandwich. Get out. Wait. Where will you sleep, Ian? I'm taking your bed. It is not right. I bought an air mattress. I decided that the sofa just wouldn't do, and all your iron will probably pierce the mattress. Everything will be fine. Go to bed and I'll cook something. After you do all your rituals, we will have a lesson on TV. Early in the morning, he helped her move to a chair, wash her face, and wash her things. We didn't talk about it yesterday, but I bought you a bunch of clothes, long-sleeve t-shirts, baggy shorts, some shirts, sweatshirts, some dresses for the house. I bought you underwear, but I couldn't even guess the bra size. She drove up to him. Bras? Color no. Is that what you call them in North Carolina? I'm 34C, but maybe I should go shopping with you. I could do without them, but then you'll be all drooling and puffing. What the hell, Ian? Panties for old ladies? They're practical, Ellie. I already feel bad enough. This should really boost my self-esteem. Sorry, Ellie. I can return what doesn't fit and take you to the store to buy everything you need. Our motto is, we strive to please Ellie. Stop doing that. No tears. It's not a big deal. This is a huge help, Ian. Nobody ever gave me anything but illegal substances and problems. They established a routine. Ellie tried to find something to do. She tried to cook his food, clean, and do his laundry. She started watching YouTube videos about computers and cooking and everything else. She sat in the sun when it was warm and talked to her neighbors, getting to know them and their dogs. But when Ian came home, Ian, could you take me to work with you and maybe teach me about computers? I never had a cell phone or a computer or anything like that. I would like to work and help. Learn this. I could meet clients, I think, if I can see them from my chair. And I'm assuming your office is aita compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. She smiled at him. But I could answer the phone, record messages, something like that. What do you think? Certainly. It would be great. The next morning, she went with him to work. He started rearranging things to open up passages for her to move around and showed her around. So this is the famous computer services headquarters. Very nice. Do you have a lot of clients who come without an appointment or mostly by appointment? Both. She mostly observed, but began greeting people as they arrived. Ellie, I need to step away for a minute. I'll be back in an hour. Please tell people about this, and they can come back or leave their contact information, and I will call them. Whatever is more convenient for them. It's the same with the telephone. Message and number. Notepads by the phone and on the counter. If you have any questions, call me. Here is my number. Looks like he left during a busy time. She greeted each person friendly, apologized, explained the situation, and offered options. When he returned, he had lunch and a bag. He added the box from the back to his bag of sundries, and they ate together. Then he dealt with all the clients. She was delighted. When they got home, she offered to cook dinner, but he winked at her and said he would take care of everything himself. After dinner, Ellie, I have something for you. First of all, here. This is a mobile phone. In reality, it is a computer with a small screen. I have already entered my number into it so you can call or write, and I'll show you how to do it. I also added the doctor's number, and here is the iPad. Computer with a large screen, and I will also teach you everything you need. Damn it, Ian. Never. It's too much. Too much. Bring them back. He raised his hand. Don't worry, Ellie, but to make up for it, I'd like you to be my iPad and iPhone guru. I get calls 5 or more times a day from people who are confused. They just can't figure out what they're doing wrong. I'm happy to help because, they become future clients, but I really don't have time for that. And there is no charge for telephone consultations. If you could find out enough to help with these calls, well, that would help me a lot. The internet is full of information. Once you've mastered the Apple world, we might add Android. What do you say? Anything you're interested in? Certainly. It would be great. I can't wait to master these things. Will they give me a certificate or a plaque or something? He smiled and shook his head. Of course, Ellie, you'll get a certificate or something. They are already configured to connect to the network here and at work, so if you want to send me a message. That night, as soon as he laid his head down, his phone vibrated. Crap, now what? Yan, thanks for everything. I will never be able to repay you, but I will try. Her first message. Further improvements went well. She was getting stronger. She became a computer geek, trying to learn as much as she could, often staying up late after he went to bed. When 2 weeks have passed. Ellie, I'm tired of you sitting on your ass all day. I know you study everything about Apple, but... Sorry, Ian. What? What do you want me to do, He smiled. How do you feel about going to school? I think I would love it, but I don't have the money for it. My boss only pays me for room and board. And she smiled. Ellie, community colleges are free, and you could do it online or in person. I've talked to people at a nearby community college, and they think you should apply. The application is submitted online. We'll have to track down your birth certificate, your school records. Ellie, have you finished school? It's okay if you don't, it's just. Calm down, Ian. I'm done. Do you remember? Jed? Barely. It was difficult, but I did it. Great. We'll need a lot of these things, but it won't be difficult for a new computer guru. And here is my credit card to pay any fees. What do you say? They have computer courses that lead to a certificate, and we know how much you love certificates. They are designed for those who work. Since it's a degree program, you don't have to take all the general education courses and stuff. Unless you want it yourself, only computers. The semester starts next week, so we need to hurry. She hugged him. Ian, this is my dream. I am so excited. The rest of the city needs you too. Hell, even the neighboring towns need you. Maybe we could hire some help to keep the business going. It could be computer services associates. If my damn legs ever healed, I might even be able to do it myself, or do any of these things. You look skeptical. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how much I can learn in this time. Now let's go home and I'll cook you a festive dinner. Asshole, what a look that is. I thought you liked the food I cooked yesterday. While it's true that I didn't go to the hospital and didn't have an upset stomach today, I thought your extra crispy fried chicken was pretty unique, sort of like fried chicken chips. So I overexposed them a little. I lost track of time. It's all because of your cheap deep fryer. I need the right tools to create my masterpieces. In fact, I used your card to order new pots, pans, deep fryer, stove, oven, and even a new toaster. Even your toaster isn't working correctly. They are completely unsuitable and are obviously to blame for my culinary failures, not me. I can't continue to create under such conditions. He laughed. But I understood everything. It's like writing code. Consistency, order, timing, everything is important. So I didn't order all these things, but I did order timers, thermometers to check the temperature of the oil and the meat. And I'll start actually using measuring cups. And I will do everything in the recommended sequence and not just based on what is at hand. Okay, Miss Chef, what kind of delicacy will you cook tonight? I'm taking out from a pizzeria, and then chocolate brownies from this box of instant brownie mix. No mistakes. Mostly, at least. I can't explain the last time. After all, I'll have to cook for the baby. Ian, Jan, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. No pressure. I'm not trying to force you into anything. I sometimes look too far into the future. I mean. He leaned over and kissed her. Relax, Ellie. I think about these things too. You know, somewhere from 4 to 6. All boys. What? From 4 to 6? Never. A couple of cute girls to be pampered by their big, ugly daddy. She pulled him towards her for another kiss. Ian, this whole thing scares the crap out of me. I've never loved anyone, and no one has ever loved me. But this weekend was quite difficult for me. And for you, my big ogre? He nodded. So why don't we go home and relax? Yes, Captain. This pizza is always so delicious. Are you going to start making pizza, Ellie? Certainly. Frozen, which you unwrap and throw in the oven for 10 minutes or so. I would be a master at this. If only I had set a timer. Oh yes, and the right temperature. She laughed. Ian, I'm going to go take a shower, and then maybe you can help me into bed. I feel very tired. What if I call you when I'm ready? She took a shower. I carefully dried the areas around the iron and applied ointment to the places where the rods passed through the skin. BRR. She pulled out from under the sink the package she had ordered online. She wore a sheer, almost invisible top. It came with sexy short panties, but they caught on her iron, and she decided not to wear them. Damn, I hate these things. There's nothing sexy about it. God, what was I thinking? What if he is disgustingly surprised? Or he won't be interested? Or what if he doesn't love me? God, I need more deodorant. I'm sweating like a pig. And damn, if I shave any more, my skin will start peeling off. Crap. I already told him how I feel, but he never answered, as if it didn't happen. But then we talked about children. Was he joking, or is he really thinking about the future? I'm so nervous. Well, go ahead. But what if he thinks I'm ugly? What if I do everything wrong? Yang, can you help me into bed? Ian entered the room and stopped. He stared at her, but didn't say anything. She started crying. Ian, I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. I just thought. She began to roll towards the bathroom. Stop, Ellie. Please stop. I'm the one who should apologize. You're just so beautiful and perfect. I guess I'm just speechless. He smiled. Actually, I'll just sit on the bed and look at you, and maybe peek up your skirt. Well, to be honest, this is not exactly what I had in mind. But if you like it that way, I think I can live with it. Maybe I should adopt a wheelchair pose. I'm about to start a new magazine. Girls in wheelchairs. Cool, yeah. He laughed. Never. I don't like to look, but not to touch. I never liked museums for this reason. He picked her up, and she hugged his neck. Ian, please turn off the light. I don't want you to see all these scars on me. Ellie, they are part of what makes you you. There is no need to hide them or be shy. I want to see all of you. Ogre, kiss me and hug me, please. I think I really need this. I want to feel you next to me. Will you do this for me? In response, he laid her on the blanket and lay down next to her. Eli, do you want me to stop? I'm just scared, Ian. No one has ever made love to me. It was always rude and cruel. Honestly, Ian, I am a newbie. I do not know what to do. I don't know how to do this. I always tried to just survive. I don't know what to expect. You need to relax and trust me, at least for now. Do what makes you happy. Do what feels natural to you. And remember, I'll stop any time you want. Understood? Don't you dare stop. And she laughed. They made love. They lay motionless. Ian, it was amazing. She began to cry. Ian, thank you. It was wonderful. You are the first man who has ever made love to me. Everyone else was, well, definitely not love. Will it always be like this? Well, with me, of course. He laughed. Seriously, yes, maybe, I think. Once we get rid of the hardware, it will be even better. There's a lot to try and a lot to explore. Oh, Ian, I love you so much. She stopped dead in her tracks. Sorry, Ian. I did it again. I didn't mean to say. You don't have to. No pressure. But I love you, Eli. Everything is fine. Sorry I didn't say that. I guess I was a little scared, just like you. Do you love me? Oh, Jan, you just made me the happiest girl in the world. I've never loved anyone before. Looking down, and no one has ever loved me, thank you, Ian. Then she perked up. As a thank you, I'm going to make a cake from scratch and some more fried chicken. No thanks needed, Ellie, especially the chicken, with pleasure. And they kissed. For a long time. But Eli, I'm scared shitless that someday I won't be enough, and, well, maybe you'll do what Sam did. I can't survive another one. She stared at him. You stupid bull, keep doing what you just did and... Interrupting, that's what Sam said. In the van she told Beau that I was so much better than him and she loved me with all her heart, while he was having sex with her. Oh God, Ian, she shed tears. I could never do anything like that. Hurts you, hurts me. I will never be able to live with myself if I cheat on you or betray you. You are like a part of me. What happens to you happens to me. Even if something happens and we can't do what we just did, it won't matter. This is what is here. And she hit him in the chest. What's here? He hits his head. Although sometimes I think there's a lot of fur there too. If the plague came and killed everyone except me and one guy, humanity would have ended because I wouldn't have done this to him. In fact, I would make him fried chicken. Please, Ian, I'm safe. I'm yours. 100% as long as you want me. I'm the one who worries that I won't be enough. You're smart enough, good-looking enough, young enough. Although you're kind of a cradle robber at the moment. What? I only have, 6 more years than you. Actually, I think it's only 5, right? But Ian, I can only imagine how betrayal made you feel. But if this is anything like what I feel at night when I think about what it would be like if you left me, I couldn't continue. I don't know how you did it. Don't worry, Ellie. It will not happen. Shit, Ian, what was I thinking? Tomorrow you'll have to take me to the pharmacy so I can buy the pill for the next morning. How stupid was I? It's been less than a week since my last woman's days, so it should be something like safe. But I read that anything is possible, Ian. I can't do this to you. Calm down, Ellie. The chances are slim. If that happens, well, we'll have a head start on these 6 boys. Are you serious, Ian? She rushed to kiss him, but scratched him with her pillars. Oh, Jan, I'm really sorry. I can't wait to take them off. It ruins a lot of spontaneous things. Remember, Ellie, the next step is long plaster casts. Not freedom. It will be even worse. Maybe not. I won't be able to get them wet, so I guess you'll have to wash me here a lot of cleaning. Ian, I'm so glad you found me in the forest. It was worth it to be saved by my ogre. But no, babe, bye. Tomorrow I go to the pharmacy the next day until I can see a doctor and take the pill. Actually, Ian, I've never been examined before. I've never even been to a doctor. Crap, what if they find something wrong? What if? Relax, Ellie. If it gets worse, I'll just carry you back down the trail and leave you to the bears. With a jar of peanut butter, right? 2 weeks later, her stitches were removed. After 6 weeks, everything had healed well, but because both legs were broken, the surgeon decided to leave the external fixator in place for 3 months. She eventually returned to the operating room. The equipment was removed and long casts were placed on her legs. They were much worse than the external device. After 6 months, the cast was removed, and she began physical therapy to learn to walk safely and regain strength in her ankles and legs. She lost a lot while in the cast. She walked with a cane for greater stability. God, my legs are so skinny. They look like sticks. There's a lot of work to be done to get strong again and be able to go hiking with Ian and everything. She attended virtual college with a nearly full course load. Ian was transitioning to full-time work at the hospital and was offered a position as the administrative director of computer services for the hospital system and physician offices. Eli ran a computer services business and was able to handle most of the problems and repairs that came up. When she couldn't, she called an expert after hours. Ian got out of the shower, dried himself off, and started putting on his shorts. Darling, you need to lie down next to me." He did so, and she kissed him. They made love. Finally, one day, right after the cast came off, "Ian, it's time for you to go home to Carolina and make peace with your family. Or at least talk to your parents again. You can't leave it all behind if you don't deal with it. They were wrong. We really made a mistake. It was terrible what they did to you. But remember what Sam said. Your mom loves you, and this must eat her up as much as it eats you up. Remember, she lost all 3 of her sons, and I almost lost my husband. More than 2.5 years have passed. Please." "Ellie, I don't know. Please, Ian, I want to meet them. You know, it's bring me home to mommy, right? Please." "Listen, if I'm going home to visit my parents, then you should come with me." "What? Seriously, Ian? Do you want me to go home to meet your parents? But what if I screw up? What if I embarrass you? What if they don't like me? God, what should I wear? Oh, Jan, what if they think I'm not good enough for you? What if?" "That's enough, Ellie. It does not matter. Everything will be fine. You'll like them, but even if you don't, I honestly don't care. My actual importance is pretty low when it comes to their opinion. I love you, and that's all that matters. But you're right. Before I bring you home, I have to make it official." He got down on one knee and held out a small black box with a ring inside. "Ellie, will you marry me?" Tears streamed into her eyes, and she raised her hands. "Wait, huge boy. I need to talk to you." Fear, anxiety, disappointment colored his face. His shoulders slumped. "No, Ian, I used 7 words, not the 4 scary words. I love you, and I know here that you love me. I looked into your soul, and I think I know you. You looked into my soul, and I think you know me. But I'm very rude. Look, I'm loud, I swear too much. I don't know when to shut up. Sometimes I'm all thoughts and emotions, which must drive you crazy as you go through life on the same level, like some kind of freak. I'm too enthusiastic, too excited, and I know there are times when I annoy you, and you'll sit there with that look on your face, just shaking your head. I will never be able to sit on the couch with a beer and watch football. I am chaos. It is bad news. But I'll tell you what. No woman will ever love you the way I do. No woman will work so hard every day to make you happy and keep our love alive. No one will work as hard as I do to become more worthy of your love, and I promise to become a better version of myself every day, knowing that perfection can take a lifetime. And one thing is absolutely certain. I will never intentionally do anything to hurt you. You will never have to worry about me cheating on you, betraying you, or straying in any way. My special parts are just for you and only you forever. Nobody, no one but you will ever touch me. So, Ian, this is the kind of woman I am. If it suits you, if this is the woman you want, then ask me again. Ellie, will you do me the honor of becoming Mrs. Ian Turner, huge man's wife? Yes, yes, yes. And she, stumbling on her canes, hugged him tightly and kissed him. Oh, Ian, I will work hard to make you happy. And I promise to try to please your parents. If you want 6 little egrets, I'll try. No guarantees, of course. And tomorrow you can take me to the tattoo parlor. For what in the world? I'll shave everything and get a big tattoo down here that says, special, only for Ian, and a big arrow. What do you think? I think I love you, Ellie. Then I'll cook a special dinner for us. No, good idea, but I have a reservation at the restaurant we wanted to try. I assume this is a jab about my cooking, but she laughed. Oh, Ian, thank you, thank you, thank you. You made me even happier than I was. Dinner was delicious. There was a dance floor, and he asked her to slow dance. I can't dance with these canes. I look stupid, and I'll probably fall. And with these words, he lifted her from the chair, carried her to the dance floor, and held her so that her feet did not touch the floor. Like a little child, she hugged his neck and laid her head on his shoulder. Oh, how I love you, Ian Turner. We need to go home soon so I can show you how much. And without the casts, maybe you can show me some of those things you were hinting at. What do you say, my Highlander? They were busy until late at night. When he opened his eyes in the morning, she held her hand in front of her and looked at the ring. I never thought this would ever happen, Ian. I never even dreamed that any man, let alone someone like you, would ever love me. Except, of course, the prince who was supposed to save me in the mountains. Thank you. Later, Ian, you need to go home for Thanksgiving. I will have a break from studying. We could fly to Raleigh and spend a few days there. Sam said they would probably be alone. You should call and find out if everything is okay. Have you talked to Sam? Yes, I did. I hope you're not too mad about this, but I wanted to scout things out for you ahead of time, and Sam wants to help you improve your relationship with your parents. You have to do it someday, Ian. Let's do this and get this over with. It's like the last great barrier, isn't it? Call your mom. Please. I don't think I can, Ellie. What to say? Maybe we should just swing by. No way, big guy. It is not right. You can't escape. Even I, a person who has no special social skills, know that this is wrong. Tell what? What if I call her and let her know? But my mom doesn't even know who you are. Of course he does. Sam's mom still talks to her, and Sam told them about me. How do you know all this? Duh, computer boy, it's called texting. Maybe you're familiar with this. Are you texting Sam? Certainly. We keep each other informed of what's going on, and you should see my Facebook page. Do you have a Facebook page? No, not yet, but as soon as we see your mother, it will be. Your mother still cries every day, as Sam said, and asks the priests for forgiveness every Sunday. She lost all 3 of her sons because of this, Ian. Imagine how hard it is for her. Give her a chance. We can always leave if things get ugly. Please let me do this. Okay, Ellie. I think it has to happen someday. You go for a walk. Please. I'll already be nervous to talk to her if you're standing next to me and blocking the light. She smiled. He left. Get it together, Ellie. Stop being nervous. Be an adult. Hello, Mrs. Turner. This is Ellie Spencer. You do not. I know who you are, Ellie. Sam says wonderful things about you. How can I help you? If it's okay with you and Mr. Turner, Ian and I would like to come to Raleigh for a few days over Thanksgiving. We could come. She heard a sob on the other end. Mrs. Turner, everything is fine. Ellie, oh Ellie, is this really possible? Is this your idea? Well, yes, but it needs to be done. He can't get well until he comes home and finds peace, and she choked. Did he make you call? Yes, madam. Does he know you're calling? Yes, madam. I made this big idiot go out for a walk, so he wouldn't stand over me and make me nervous. Oh, Ellie, if you can do this, I have so many things that I want to say, that I need to say, starting with an apology. Thank you, Ellie. I can't wait to meet you. Please tell him how sorry I am and how much I love him, and I miss him. She was clearly crying on the other end, and it touched Ellie. Crying, Mrs. Turner, he loves you too. He was just stuck in his thoughts. All these men's things. And damn, oh sorry, Mrs. Turner, I have problems with the language. She heard laughter on the other end. If he can forgive Sam, he can forgive you too. I don't know about his brothers. He doesn't want to talk about them at all. You would be proud of what he has achieved here. His computer services store is thriving, and the hospital wants him full-time to manage their computers. Several hospitals and all doctors' offices, and much more. So much to say. I'll text you the details, but we can probably just rent a car at the airport. He said you were only an hour away from there. I've never flown before, but I've heard there can be big delays around the holidays. But there is only one thing, Mrs. Turner, and I know that you are his mother, and you know what is best, and I have no right. Obviously, I don't know what's best, Eli, or we wouldn't be in such a terrible mess. So tell me what you think. Well, can you make sure it's just you and Mr. Turner? You know, no friends, family, Sam, or her parents. And no Bo and Rex, right? Right. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Turner. I think if we get there and there are other people or a party or something, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he'll get back in the car and drive away. Ellie, at this point you know him better than I do, and I will do whatever you suggest. Anything if you can get it here. Great. See you soon, Mrs. Turner. I can't wait to meet you. Thank you, Eli. From what Sam says, it sounds like you're exactly what he needs. Thank you. Thank you. It was quite a walk, Ian. I didn't say take a walk to Kansas. Well, your mom and I were trading recipes for Christmas cookies and carrot cake. Really? Ian, did you get hit in the head with a baseball bat or played too much football or something like that? No, we didn't exchange recipes, but she was crying and wanted me to tell you how sorry she was, how much she loved you, and how much she misses you. This is the right thing to do. He nodded. They checked in at a kiosk and then made their way through long security lines. Ellie was pulled out of the line and spent nearly 20 minutes with a female TSA agent who called two other agents. They continued to look at Ian and smile. They finally gave her a thumbs up and let her go. God, Eli, what the hell did you have in your carry-on luggage? I thought they were going to keep you there forever. They even invited everyone else to come see it. And your face is so red. What's wrong? Nothing. Not a damn thing. You're an asshole. You didn't tell me they check all carry-on luggage. I had that cool thing you gave me. Your toy? And he started laughing. It's no surprise that everyone came to check the situation. Well, that's another story they can tell. Ian, I felt so embarrassed. Why didn't you tell me? It was terrible. I didn't even know what she was looking at. And then she called two more. I'll throw this away to your mom, or we'll have to go home. Maybe your mom wants this. He laughed. You know, you're an ass. I don't think I'll talk to you until all the red is gone. And it will probably be Raleigh. Stop laughing, idiot. I guess I would never have thought that a person would bring this in their carry-on luggage. We'll be in different rooms at Mom's. That's why I brought this woolly head. I have a special need. You created a monster. As they prepared to take off, Ollie's knuckles turned white from how tightly she squeezed Ian's hand. But she screamed when the pilot began to accelerate hard for takeoff, and she was pushed back into her seat. She loved it. Oh, Ian, it's so cool. Look at the earth and how small the houses are becoming. They are decreasing so quickly. I like it. We have to fly all the time. You better make a lot of money, but I will help. I'm doing a pretty good job running the store. She was equally excited about the landing. They rented a car and drove for an hour to see Ian. You know, Ian, now I have a license, so I can drive a car. My first rights. I've never needed them before. The driving test was very difficult because of my legs, but you taught me very well. Well, we're here. Time for the next step. You'll have to get out of the car, Ian. We can't just sit here and talk. Before Ian could get out of the car, his mother ran down the steps to meet him. She reached out to hug him, but stopped. Yan, I'm so sorry for what I did to you. I betrayed your trust and and she began to cry. Ian, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry I let this happen. I had to do something, but at first I wasn't sure. Then I hoped they would stop, but then it was too late, and all I could do was hope that you wouldn't find out I was wrong. So I was so wrong about everything. And she couldn't say anything else. It's okay, Mom. I should have known what was going on, and in any case, it's all done and over. Ellie punched him in the back and pushed him forward. He looked at her, and she pointed to his mom, who was still looking at the ground. He stepped forward and pulled her into his arms. Oh, Ian! She cries and lays her head on his chest. I'm really sorry. I love you so much, and God, how I missed you. Finally breaking the hug. And this must be Ellie. Jan, she's great. Ellie, nice to meet you. He comes up for a hug. Ellie hugged her with a cane in her hands. Don't. Stop standing there like a pillar. Get over it, hug your son, and meet Ellie. There were 5 steps into the house. Ian walked a little ahead with his parents and saw her contemplating how she could cope. She was able to walk, but after almost 6 months of immobilization, and only a few weeks after the cast was removed, she was still quite stiff and weak. Hang in there, Ellie. Ian ran down the steps, picked her up and her bag, and carried her into the house as if they were weightless, and then set her down on the ground. Ellie saw his mom watching, and then looked at Ellie. Yes, Mrs. Turner, there are some advantages to dating a big moose. It also carries food around very well. But damn, he eats 98% of them. They all laughed. They spent the whole day talking. Nothing deep. Not a word about Bo and Rex. The dinner was one of Ian's favorites. Meatloaf with baked sweet potato and pecan pie. You know, Mom, Ellie is a great cook. Her signature dish is fried chicken chips. Allie blushed, confused. As you probably know, Mrs. Turner, your son is a real ass sometimes. But he's right. I don't know how to cook at all. There was never a chance, although I try. I think he'll agree that I can make frozen pizza and instant brownies pretty damn good if I use a timer. Yes, and I will set the oven temperature to the correct temperature. And they all laughed. It was an amazing meal, Mrs. Turner. You'll have to give me your recipe, and I'll try it. It's basically a big hamburger with breadcrumbs and something else, right? I can handle this, I think. Here, let me help you figure it out while these two talk about football, politics, or some other manly things. She whispered, Look, Mrs. Turner. You know, guys, I don't know if you follow football, but I'm not too happy with things. My Broncos aren't doing very well this year. They have 3 wins and 7 losses. Damn. This guy from Seattle was a real disappointment. But before you start gloating, Big Don, what, Carolina has 3 wins and 8 losses, and you're already on your 3rd quarterback this season. They are in even worse condition. You watch college football? I don't know who you're rooting for, Don, but Unc and Duke both look good. Wolfpack and Wake, not so much. And Wake was so good last year. It's a shame. Lost a lot of seniors, I think. But it doesn't matter because Clemson will take the ack again. But that doesn't matter either, does it, guys? Because my team, the Georgia Bulldogs, will win the national championship again. But man, tomorrow. Traffic jams due to games. After the parade, of course. Are you ready? The 2 men simply stared at her as she turned to leave. Ellie, I didn't know you knew anything about football. I am a woman of many facets, ogre boy. What's a woman supposed to do when she's alone in the office, tending the store, and her boyfriend is walking around the hospital with these nurses? Her mother looked at her with a grin. Of course, Ellie, I'll be happy to help. Whispers, how the hell do you know about all this football? She laughed. I don't know anything about football. I watched this right before we left. I was just waiting for the right moment to release it. It's good that they didn't ask anything, because I know absolutely nothing else. They both laughed. Ellie started running water in the sink to rinse the dishes and rolled up her sleeves. She heard a gasp next to her and a crash as the plate hit the floor and broke. Here, I'll pick this up, Mrs. She bent down to pick up the pieces, then looked up and saw Mrs. Turner looking at her. She knew that look. Saw him many times before. She looked down and saw that her injection scars were clearly visible. She blushed, embarrassed. She began to cry, unable to look Mrs. Turner in the eyes any longer. She slowly stood up and placed the pieces on the tabletop, still looking down. Tears filled her eyes and flowed down her cheeks. She wiped them away. Are you still using it? No, no, Mrs. Turner. For about 18 months now. Ever since my mom died of it in bed next to me. Nothing but caffeine. Never again. Does Ian know? She nodded. She looked questioningly at Mrs. Turner. But how do you know? Ever since Ian left, and so did the others, I've been volunteering at a homeless shelter. Ellie. Ellie wiped away her tears and stopped looking at the floor. Standing to her full height, she turned, took a deep breath, and looked Mrs. Turner straight in the eyes. Stop, Mrs. Turner. I understand that I am the last girl that any mother would want to see next to her son. My mom and I were both addicted, and I basically grew up homeless. I have nothing. I don't own anything. I didn't go anywhere or do anything. These things, everything I have was bought for me by Ian, and I can never thank him enough or repay him for what he did. I was a failure, but I got my diploma. I'm in college. I basically run a store while your son goes full-time in the hospital system. I owe him. Well, I owe him my life. Madam, you would be so proud of what he did. Sorry, it doesn't matter. I lay on the ground for 2 days, thinking the end was coming. He shook me, and when I looked into those big damn blue eyes, I was gone. I became his heart, mind, body, and spirit. He could have left me there, and I would have died a happy woman just by looking into those eyes once. But he saved me. In many ways, he saved me. But in those eyes, there was pain, anger, resentment, and emptiness. Loneliness. Such loneliness. I knew I had to make him smile. Laugh, have fun, and feel again. It wasn't easy, but I think I succeeded. Sam was a big step, and I thought this might be our last step together. Chris nodded. Sam told me. Well, actually, there were 2 events with Sam. My name was Sam. Samantha Ellison. God, when he asked me my name and I said Sam, I swear he looked like he was going to scream and run off into the woods, leaving me behind like a ghost or something. So I quickly switched to Ellie. Sam from here was second. I don't know if she gave you any details, but I thought it was over and that he was going to kick me out. This was the next step towards recovery and forgiveness. He's already better than he was. I don't think Bo or Rex will ever come back. He doesn't even talk about them. But who knows, in a few years. When I mentioned it, he said that strangers backstab. Family and loved ones strike from the front. In heart. Chris sighed and covered her face with her hands. No, Mrs. Turner, excuse me, No, Ellie. He's absolutely right. What I and the others did to him is unforgivable. I can't believe we all hid this from him. And I can't believe his brothers could do this to him. Thank you for bringing him home and to life. Ellie nodded. So, Mrs. Turner, I have a terrible past. I'm a mess. But no woman can love your son more than I do. No woman will ever work that hard every day to be the person he deserves and earn his love. No woman would ever suffer this much when he wasn't around. And I will never hurt him, cheat on him, be unfaithful, or betray him in any way. We are connected. I will hurt myself at the same time. Mrs. Turner shuddered again. Oh no, Mrs. Turner, I didn't mean to. See? I'm such a loser. She started crying again. I'm far from perfect, Mrs. Turner, but he is perfect for me, and I try to be the woman he deserves. Mrs. Turner came over and hugged her. They both started crying. Stepping back, Ollie, you are perfect for him, and thanks for everything. Thank you for bringing him back to me, to us. She took her hands and held them. Then she stopped. What? What is this? Ellie, are you engaged? Ellie nodded. Sorry, Mrs. Turner. I told him to tell you right away, but that big hairy tadpole wanted to wait for the right moment. I tried to hide it, but I couldn't take it off, even for a while. I warned him. I told him how flawed I was and how much I would anger him from time to time. But he still wanted to do it. God, he makes me so happy. But he's such a fool sometimes. I think his life will be wonderful with you, Ellie. Welcome to the family. I hope you will accept us. They hug again. They hugged again. And I'm guessing that you too, Ollie nodded. Then you two should sleep in the same room. You look embarrassed. Oh no, I can't. It would be wrong. Ian would never allow this. God, and after what happened at the airport. You'll have to tell me about it. Just sneak in there after we've all gone to bed. I suspect this is not easy for him, and he will need reassurance. Whisper, don't tell him, but his father and I lived together for almost a year before we got married. I know he thinks, like all sons, that we had sex 3 times, once for each child in some sterile, non-sexual conditions. But his father was a real dog. Winking, still there, and she smiled. Well, how would you say it, Eli? Let's wash these damn dishes. Oh God, Mrs. Turner, it's okay, Ellie, and please call me Chris. Now tell me what happened at the airport. Ellie reached out and touched Chris's arm. Oh, Chris, I can't. It was very awkward and humiliating. Ellie, with that intro, you have to let it out. Well, I've never been on a plane before, and I figured Ian and I would be in separate rooms, and well, you know, it would be kind of a dry spell, so I packed the assistant in my. Did you put a sex toy in your carry-on luggage? She raised her hand to her mouth and laughed loudly, and then the two of them started laughing and acting like old friends sharing a secret. Looks like your mom likes her, son. Me too. She seems like a good fit for you, Ian. I'm glad you met, even if the circumstances were unusual. She is better to me than you could ever imagine. She helped me a lot. Listen, son, I'm really sorry. I should have told you when we first found out what was going on, but it's okay, Dad. Everything is over. Ready. We all learned a lot from this, so we just need to move on. Thank you, Ian. I promise you, nothing like this will ever happen again. I will always be honest with you. I'll tell you what I think, especially when you're wrong. Let's laugh together. Now let's not go too far with the honesty thing, Dad. And from the other room in a muffled voice. And then she took it out and turned it on. I swear it sounded like it was on the PA system, and every woman in the place turned and looked at me. I was so embarrassed. My damn blonde hair turned red. She pulls it back and says, "Where did you get it?" I told her. She even called some other agents. I was dying. One of them looked at me, looked at Ian and said, "Why is that?" I told her we were going to visit his parents, and she said, "I hope you brought extra batteries with you." Finally, they all sort of looked at me, looked back at Ian, winked, gave a thumbs up and said, "Have a nice trip." Oh my God, Chris, I was paralyzed. I didn't think I could move, and then the bonehead called out to me. In that deep, stinking voice, "Is everything okay? Hell no, this is not normal." And they both burst out laughing. Oh, Ellie, better you than me. Now tell me about this cannibal. I couldn't understand what Sam was talking about. Well, I lay on my back for 2 days with broken legs. I seemed to be delirious, dreaming of a fair-haired prince who rode up on his horse and woke me up with a kiss. Later, when everyone had gone to bed, Chris heard the sound of canes on the floor and smiled. This girl, she's brave. I'll be glad to have her around. Dawn, stop snoring and wake up. What, Chris? What do you want? I hope you feel strong because you have some responsibilities to fulfill. What? No. In any case, children, we do the same. Ian would never. No. He loves to party just like his father, but she doesn't. I heard her walking across the hall, just like I had to do when we stayed at your relative's house. I think your parents specially ordered those noisy box springs just for this. Then your mom walked around with that shitty grin on her face while we hobbled around with carpet burns. Now kiss me and let's get started. I want you to imagine that we are in our 20s again. Ellie tried to sneak across the hall. Damn canes. She quietly opened the door and whispered, Yong, Yong. No answer. He sleeps like the damn dead. She pulled the blankets off and sat next to him. What? Ellie. SHHH. Quiet, ogre. You'll wake up your parents. We don't have much time for prelims, so let's make love. It's been a hard day, and I need some love. Fine. Ellie, I don't know. Ian, they are doing this even as we speak. Your mom said they do this all the time. You're making this up. My mom doesn't even have these parts. You're an idiot. What? Is she like a department store mannequin? Almost everything except that she can write. What about hash 2? Her. Is this what will happen to me when I get older? No, you will always have hash 2, or in your case, hash 4. Damn, I'll have to put some kind of industrial exhaust fan in the bathroom. Ian, you're so hard on me that I might just have to hobble back across the hall. I just don't know if I can handle it. I'm going to be sick just thinking about it. Get to work, mister. Just keep quiet while doing this. You're the one making all the noise. Well, maybe you should do a shitty job so I don't like her. No, cancel it. You need to do an exceptional job to make me happy. Give me that throw pillow and I'll shove it in my face. Now stop talking. They fell asleep in each other's arms. At first light, Ellie crept back across the hall, making Chris smile again. I think I'll really like her. Breakfast is served, guys. Come and grab these waffles while they're hot. Ellie, how did you sleep last night? She blushed and looked down. Everything is fine. The bed is very comfortable. Chris winked at her, making her blush even more. So you too, Dawn asked, oblivious to all of this. When is the big day? They spoke at the same time and then fell silent. We have not decided yet. To be honest, we haven't really discussed this yet. For my part, we could get married today, but I don't know what Ian thinks about it. Well, yes, we need to discuss this. Decide where, when, who. Well, my suggestion is to keep it simple. Your mom wanted to have this big wedding. What a nightmare. I mean, it was wonderful, honey, but it was too much work. Ellie, do you have a lot of relatives to invite? This will determine some details. Ellie's eyes instantly filled with tears. She grabbed a napkin and stood up. Sorry, something must have gotten into my eye. I'll be back in a minute. Please start without me. She turned around and quickly walked down the corridor to her room. Dawn gave a "what have I done" look. Both Chris and Ian stood up. Ian, you stay here. Let me talk to her. Chris went to the bedroom, knocked, but did not wait for an answer. Ellie was lying on the bed, covering her face with a pillow and curled up in a ball. Chris sat on the edge of the bed and touched her thigh. Ellie? Ellie removed the pillow, jumped up, and hugged Chris. Sorry, I didn't want to ruin breakfast. It's okay, Ellie. What's the matter? Still hugging. I just don't have anyone. Nobody but Ian, and maybe now the two of you. I have no family that I know of. And people like me never had friends. Everyone was for themselves. Hell, the closest thing I have to a friend is Sam, and I can't invite her. It wouldn't be fair for any of them. I just know Ian might want a big wedding, but all I see is the groom's side being filled and the bride's side being empty. And I can't ask Ian to buy me a dress or pay for all these things. The bride's family must do this. We need money to build the future. I don't know what to tell him. I will do whatever he wants, but from my side, we can go to the registry office and do it. I already feel married. To be honest, Ellie, I don't know what he wants. His first wedding was a pretty big deal, so I think he'll want something simple. Please know that we agree with any decision you make. We would like to be there, of course, and not for you to run away, but it doesn't matter whether it's in the city center or in a church. Will it be here or there? Whatever you decide. What about all his relatives or friends? I don't care about them, Ellie. It's your day, not them. Look, I'll send your ogre. And she laughed. To you, and you two can talk about it. What do you think? Thank you, but no. Let me dry my eyes, and we'll get back to breakfast. Ian and I can discuss this later. But thanks, Chris. Thanks for understanding. They returned to breakfast. Sorry, Dawn. I pulled myself together. Honey, can we discuss something after breakfast? Fine. Now pass these damn waffles here. I'm starving. If your son had a waffle iron that worked properly, I'm sure he could make them. Everyone laughed. Later. Ellie, you cried about the wedding, right? She nodded. And if I'm right, it's because I have a lot of relatives, and you don't. She nodded. Listen, if you want a big wedding, with a dress and flowers and a cake and a reception and everything, we can do it. But I don't need it. It was my first time, and look how it turned out. So it's just normal. It would be nice to do this at home, and I need to invite my parents. They need to come and see where we live and our business and everything else. But this is about you and me. We pledge our love for each other and all that until death do us part, and especially the part where the wife says that she will always obey her husband. I don't think that will be part of the vows. You're too prone to errors, like bad computer code or something, so I'll have to disobey you to get it right. Kiss me, big guy. So when we get back, why don't we discuss the details? Whatever you want, Ellie. I want you, Ian. That's all. We could go to the magistrate and have your parents as witnesses. I would like a white dress, but not a wedding dress. And simple gold rings. Nothing special. Agreed. Agree. Let's decide on the dates. How about a honeymoon? Darling, every day with you is like a honeymoon. Ugh. No, business is the problem. We can't just disappear for a week. The hospital needs you. The businesses and people in town need me, or you, of course, depending on what's going on. Wait, there are some smart-as-hell geeks in the classes I take, especially Ron. Smart, but not a nerd. He's practical. He can talk to people and communicate like a human and not like a computer nerd. You know, he speaks English, not a crazy computer language. He knows everything about games and the machines that run them, which none of us really do. This would allow us to provide additional services, and we could sell these gaming machines. Jan, this is so exciting. Possibilities. What if I talk to him about becoming an employee? We could give him a month to get comfortable, and if he does well, we could take some time off. But can we get married first and honeymoon later? I want to be Mrs. Turner as soon as possible, and I want the little monster, sweet little girl, to grow inside me as soon as possible. A little part of my prince. Actually, if we're going to do all this soon, can I stop taking the pills and we can try to get pregnant? Only if you want it, of course. We shouldn't. I don't want you to feel like I'm rushing you. But you know, Ogre, you're not getting any younger. And if you want 6, any thoughts, Ian? Oh, and I thought I had a couple more years before medication and retirement. Looks like you've been thinking a lot, Ollie, about a lot of different things. Sorry, Ian. Ideas were forming in my head, and I was going to talk to you. I think these are great ideas. You have better business sense than me, Ellie. Maybe we can even open another office in Pinnacle or somewhere else. Let's help local businesses, and we'll need some employees because you'll be pregnant all the time for the next decade. Admire my beautiful body now, boy, because once kids start, it will never be the same. Are you okay with this? Certainly. Yang, I didn't take my pill this morning. Can we start working on our first baby? Smiling. Only if it's a boy. The holidays are over and Ron starts working. It fit in well and began to capture a significant portion of the business in Dillard, but also gave the couple some time to relax. Ian and Ellie took a few days off for Christmas. Ron worked until noon on Christmas Eve for the final sales of computers and game consoles. Jan's parents arrived a few days earlier and stayed at an inn in the city, since there was no room in the apartment. They made the visit and Christmas special. Sledding, ice skating, they had a big Christmas tree, and the apartment was completely decorated. The city always pulled out all the stops, and every store in every local town was prepared for the season. Ellie made socks for each of them, which she filled with sweets. They all went to Christmas Eve service and celebrated Christmas together. Like Ian, they fell in love with the area, loved the mountains, although with the snow covering everything there wasn't much opportunity to explore. They couldn't believe the business and all the things these two were doing. They left on the 1st, and then work began again. Ellie walked into the office with a determined look on her face after visiting a client. Hey, Ron, is Ian here? Yes, he's in the back room replacing batteries or a hard drive or something like that. Thank you. She went into the back room and closed the door. Yang, my prince, we need to discuss something. What have you done again, Ellie? You only use prince when there's a problem, like my mom when she uses all 3 names. You're an asshole. Why do I love you, my prince? No, my love. There are no problems, only solutions. Oh shit, you are pregnant. No, Ian. Sorry, but not this month. First, we need to talk about business. Ron is doing a great job, don't you agree? He nodded. He's enthusiastic, smart, loves to use his computer and gaming skills, does a great job with customers, and has already grown our business, especially at Dillard's. Agree, he nodded. And if we don't do this, he will end up quitting and opening his own business that will compete directly with ours. I'm sure you agree. Great idea. Let's do that. What kind of agree is this? I read a book about negotiations, and this is one of the secrets they use. Crap, I don't think I should have told you. So that was the business part. Now, about the personal stuff. No, Ellie, we can't do this to Ron right there. Not this idiot, although I could probably do it without making a fuss. I want to talk about the wedding. I know what I want. First of all, I want to do this soon. For example, in a month. I'm sure you agree. Yes, but stop it. She laughed. What? Are you afraid that you will agree to more than you want? Secondly, I want your parents and everyone you want to be here. He nodded. And I know it's winter, and I know I'm talking about February, and I know it's risky, but I want to get married where I met you, down by the rocks. I checked with the forestry staff, and we can get a special permit to use snowmobiles on the trail, so it should only take a few hours instead of 2 days, or more depending on how your parents handle it, while you're following me. He just looked at her. I'll take that as a yes. I've already checked the rental. With snowmobiles, we can drag sleds with tents, food, and a stove. Everything we need. We can have a big tent to put on the ground. I'll wear my white dress and look like a snow queen, with flowers in my hair and a bouquet of evergreens. When I marry my prince, Ian, I just don't want to wait until summer. Please? He still looked at her with some skepticism. And it's cheap, Mr. Cheapskate. What about the priest, Ellie? Can we persuade any of them to go into the forest with us in February? To the Rocky Mountains? Ellie, we might end up like the people at Donner Pass. Oh, stop being so dramatic. We know how to stay warm in winter, and if it gets too bad, we'll come home. There are no dangerous slopes, so no avalanches or anything like that. But who will perform the ceremony? Actually, in our state, we can get married ourselves. This is called the celebration of marriage. How do you like this word? 5 damn syllables. Do you see how smart I'm becoming? As long as we send the required form within 60 days after that, with a receipt of course. Then we're married. I suspect you and your parents won't like it. So, our state also allows people who were ordained as a minister in that online church to perform the ceremony. Ron agreed to become a priest if we paid the fee. He could do the ceremony and either stay the night with us or just come back. Fine. No, Ian. I really think this will work. What? Did you say okay? She rushed forward and hugged him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This month I will get pregnant. Thank you, Ian. And I think I should tell you. Your parents are coming over the first weekend in February. I have already booked their tickets and rented a car. I have organized the rental of snowmobiles, winter equipment. I have a list of food and all the necessary supplies. All of my checklists are in my Excel spreadsheets. Are you proud of me? He shook his head. So, my dear, I believe you have decided that with your new negotiating skills, I will say yes. Well, I know you want to make me happy, and you said that it's not that important to you, and I have several ways to reward you, so I was just guessing. Ian, look, I just want to become Mrs. Auger Turner as soon as possible. I know that now everything is much simpler, but I don't want to be with a big belly at the wedding. You mean you're going to launch yourself and become really fat? Ian, I'm not even going to acknowledge this question. I think you've got that little roller creeping out from under your belt from all my super delicious food. I'm so damn excited, I'll burst. Jan, I will be the best wife. I will work very hard to always make you happy. Relax, Ellie. Kiss me. No, no, we won't do it here. On the way out, she gave Ron a thumbs up and smiled. Go become an ordained minister, Ron. This poor guy, he didn't stand a chance, did he, Ellie? No. They arrived at the trailhead parking area early in the morning. The sky was clear, except for a few gray clouds that crossed the mountains and occasionally threw a few snowflakes. Temperatures were in the mid-30s, and there were no single digits or bad weather expected for this weekend. They were lucky. 3 snowmobiles, each with a trailer loaded and ready to go. Ian and Ellie are in front to lead the way, his parents are in the middle, and Ron is in the back to keep an eye on Ian's parents, who are riding a snowmobile for the first time. The trail was easy to follow. Enough snow for easy passage, but not so much that you get stuck. The forest was quiet. A couple of birds as the morning warmed up, but the deer had already gone to their winter pastures, and the small animals were sleeping. Apart from the noise of the engines, everything was quiet. The firs and spruces with their shades of green added color to the forest and contrasted sharply with the dull and dormant aspens and maples. Isn't it beautiful, Ian? Thank you for agreeing to this, she screamed in his ear as they drove. What would normally take 2 days of walking took just over 3 hours. Eli, oh my God, girl, did you fall off this? You're lucky you only broke your legs. And Ian, did you carry her up? Up all those cliffs with her on your shoulders? My God, I don't know how I'll feel about trying to climb down these rocks, especially with all this equipment. Even if we put everything down into the clearing, how can we get it all back up? You're right, Mom. Let's explore a little and see if we can't find an easier way down to the bottom of the slope. If we don't find it, we can use the ropes and the toboggan I took to lower the things. Ian, I've looked at the contour maps of this area, and it looks like there's a fairly gentle slope a little further down the trail. It should be easy if there aren't a lot of bushes and those tall green trees with branches. Ian and Ron looked at each other. Have you studied contour maps? Well, of course, a shaggy head. Actually, I studied them before I came up with this plan. Surprised? She winked at Chris. I'll go further along the path, and I'll look at the gentle slope. Ron, why don't you go back and see if you find anything? Luckily, 10 minutes further down the trail, there was indeed a path leading through the trees with a gentle slope that led to a clearing, and they were able to snowmobile to the base. Ian cleared a patch of snow right at the bottom of the slope and freed some rocks to create a circle. He lit a fire from the wood he had brought. Ellie, Why don't you and my parents look for some more dry firewood in the area? Ron and I will start setting up our tents and unloading our stuff. These tents set up fairly quickly, so it doesn't take long to set up. I'll also put water on the boil for coffee, cocoa, or whatever. After an hour or so they were settled in and sitting around the fire on the rocks they had cleared from the frozen ground and rolled closer. We drank something hot and ate lunch. Ian handed Ellie a peanut butter sandwich with a smile. Thank you, Ian. I never thought I'd be able to eat them again, but in this place, it feels right. Thanks for thinking about this. I guess I won't eat 5 or 6 like last time. Everyone laughed. So, Ellie, it's already early morning. Do you want to have the wedding now, or should we wait until tomorrow? Young, I would like to hold it at dawn tomorrow, when it's just starting to get light, and it's the beginning of a new day. Down here, we won't see direct sunlight until mid-morning, but we can still hold a ceremony as the forest awakens. Will this be okay? And then, Ron, you can head back if you want, or stay with us. It's always good to have a priest on hand, with a smile. In the meantime, how about you put on these snowshoes and show me how graceful you are, mountain man? Chris, Don, are you warm in these suits we got for you? Well, Ian, I think we need to go to bed early. The big day is tomorrow. Everyone agreed and went to their tents. Whisper. Yan, what are you doing? You can't fall asleep yet. You have responsibilities. Ellie, we can't. My parents are right there in their tent. They will hear. Ian, you're a fool. Listen, can you hear it? They're doing it right now. You do not hear? Ellie, no, my parents don't do this. I hear nothing. Wait, what did she say? Covering her ears with her hands. La, 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 la. I can't hear anything, Ellie. I can't hear what you're saying. My parents don't do this. They never did. She doesn't have these body parts. If you do this every time they are around, we won't be able to see them anymore. Ian, take your hands away from your ears. I told you, your mom says your dad was very persistent, and he still is. She says that's what he likes to do the most. Well, I don't remember exactly, but it has something to do with the door. Didn't make sense to me. Entrance door? No. Back door. That's it. She said he liked her back door. Ellie, stop it. I will never be able to look them in the face again without imagining it. For heaven's sake, I'll have nightmares. Damn, I'm going to need therapy. She laughed. Okay, Ian, just know that I won't let you stop when we're that age. I think you'll have to kiss me to shut me up. Now come here and do this. The next morning, long before dawn, Jan, wake up. You shake the snow from the branches with your snoring. It's time to get out of here and start a fire. I need to start getting ready. Leave without looking. You can't look at the bride on her wedding day. He grumbled and muttered some incomprehensible words. And send your mother. She wanted to help. An hour later, she was ready. It was just beginning to get light. A snow-colored long dress hugging her figure, emphasizing her breasts and thin waist without being provocative. Thermal underwear and boots underneath. Well, okay, she thought. A spruce branch with several holly berries in its hair and a bouquet of pine needles and berries. Priest Ron stood with his back to the fire. Ian, dressed in a tuxedo, stood to the right. His parents, a little away, were taking photos on their phones as she came out. The hem of her skirt trailed in the snow. She stood opposite Ian, who then walked over and kissed her. You look so beautiful, Ellie. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for so much. Thank you for making me the happiest woman in the world, and I will work every day to make you the happiest man. Dear beloved, we have gathered here. After the ceremony, they kissed, and Ian went to Ron's tent and brought back a large box. He placed it on the small table they had brought with them and said, Come on, Ellie. Open it. Inside was a multi-tiered cake with a figurine on top. Huge. She rushed forward and kissed him. You will always be my prince, Yong. Thank you. Let's save the top tier for our anniversary and eat the rest now. Soon after, Ron packed up and left for home. I have a date, and I don't want to miss it. but so did his parents. We need to give you some personal time. See you when you get back. And, whispered to Ellie, I'm afraid I'll break my dear husband if we stay and listen to you two again. They both laughed. Thank you, Ellie, for bringing my son back to life and to me. The newlyweds were enjoying the day and each other, and when darkness fell, Ian, I need to go to the toilet. Can you carry me to the log like the old days? He looked at her and gave her a, what the hell look? Okay, if you want. Just kidding, my dear husband. Man, I like that sound. Mrs. Turner can do everything herself. She left the tent, and 15 minutes later, he heard her scream of delight and the sound of her running steps towards the tent. She dove inside, straight at him. I didn't think it was possible, but you made me even happier. Look. He gave her a blank look as she held something in front of his eyes, so close that he couldn't focus. He shrugged, not knowing what he was looking at. What should I do with you, Ian? This is a pregnancy test, and he's positive I am pregnant, and it's a girl. He hugged her tightly. This is wonderful, Ellie, but how do you know it's a girl? That's how it should be, and her name will be Autumn, because that's when you saved me and changed my life. Then winter, spring, summer, each with its own season, and if there are more, we will move on to Willow, Lily, and so on. I should have known you had a plan. Is it true? Autumn. No, it's a great name. She'll love it. She will be born in the fall, and every season of her life will be a time we will remember together, and every year will be another stage of her life that we can experience together until we become very old. And you will be a better father, but you shouldn't spoil her. Well, not too much. What if there are boys? Easily. Ogre Turner Jr. Ogre Turner is second. Ogre Turner is third. Understood. They are boys. They always have nicknames. Right. I'm sure you agree. They both laughed at the memory. Doubtful. Yes, sure. Now, take off these pants so I can thank you properly. But I'll keep the top because it's damn cold here. Warm me, my Prince Ogre. Subscribe to our channel so that your love doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think, click to the next one.